What's going on, people, and welcome back to Corporate Transfer Podcast Show. So, Liverpool have won against Arsenal 1-0. Not so convincing, but a win is a win nonetheless, even though we have to win it ugly. But uh, it all came down to a Dominik Szoboszlai stunning goal. So, uh, that was the most incredible free kick I have seen in quite a quite a long time. I think formerly we were so used to seeing Trent Alexander-Arnold score free kicks for us, but this time around it was from an unlikeliest of names, and it was also a man of the match performance as well from him. It is none other than Dominik Szoboszlai. So it was a 30-yard free kick, and it was a thunderbolt, and basically we have seen the reincarnation of a Steven Gerrard 2.0. So put him in a team, ask him to play in any position, he just does it. I think for the second time in a row in this game and the previous game against Newcastle, he has consistently proved that he can be sort of like that go-to guy for Arne Slot when it comes to uh, you know being the cover, being a backup option for Arne Slot, regardless of any position you play. We even see him playing bombing forwards as well. The game was pretty much helter skelter. Uh, I mean, throughout the whole 90 minutes, I think in the first half, it was basically a little bit boring. Both teams canceling out each other, defending quite well. But then Arsenal had a lot of the upper hand in the first 45 minutes. We barely had a shout on goal. We barely had a shot on goal. I mean, not even just a shout. We barely had a shot on goal. We didn't even have any corners. We couldn't take advantage of any mistakes that Arsenal were doing. I think we were very, very slow. Because I feel like there was a lack of communication, and things just didn't click at all. I think a lot of our Liverpool fans, I think they would admit that the first half was basically, it did not go from bad to worse, but then it was just a a very draggy performance. There was too many. It just didn't click. I mean, we had a strong first team. Szoboszlai was the backup right back. He filled in as right back. Despite having Conor Bradley on the bench, I think looking at the performances of Dominik Szoboszlai in the last match against Newcastle, I think it's fair to say that he has put in a good shout to play at the right back position. So Arne Slot has put him there. And to be fair to Szoboszlai, he made use of the opportunity, and he actually provided a man of the match performance. Alongside him was on the left back position was Milos Kerkez. His 1v1 against Madueke was the sort of like the highlight of the first half. I think a lot of the balls that uh, Arsenal were actually going to, and Madueke was basically their go-to man in attack this time around because Odegaard was on the bench. They didn't have Havertz. Gyökeres was basically shut down by Van Dijk and Konate for the most parts. He didn't really have an opportunity at goal. He had a lot of layoffs here and there, but then basically he was just keeping possession and didn't really have an opportunity on goal. And like I said, Kirkes and Madueke, they had a heck of a game against each other. It was a really good battle to watch, and I think for the most parts, Kirkes had the upper hand. And I think Kirkes, he did well for the full 90 minutes. He played defensively. He was very solid alongside Konate on the left hand side, with Van Dijk, being supporting him for the most parts on the left side of the defense. It's just that on certain occasions when we are attacking, I think the more I expected Cody Gakpo also to, you know, build up a certain level of chemistry and understanding with Kirkes. I think we saw that very, very clearly that there is still a lot of work that needs to be done, a lot of things that they need to understand as well when they are moving forwards, when they are attacking with the ball. Like there were certain instances where Cody Gakpo would like to cut inside and then without looking at the overlapping run of Kirkes, and then he would just pass backwards and the whole momentum of the play would just drop just like that. So I saw it a lot in the first half and also certain instances in the second half. Basically, the first half was just two teams cancelling out each other, and then when the second half came, Liverpool sort of like started to pick up a little bit of momentum heading into the 50th minute, 60th minute. Um, Particularly, even when it came to Florian Wirtz, he wasn't really involved in the game in the first half. It was such a very hit and miss game in the first half, to be fair. And then when it come in the second half, and then when it came to the 50th minute, 60th minute, I think after the 1 hour mark, Liverpool started putting a stamp on trying to stamp their authority in the game. They started to show a little bit of flair, and as this game, I mean, the ball started. They started to hold the ball on their feet. The passing was good. A lot of the long raking passes of Van Dijk, it found Salah on a number of occasions. That was very good. But then, like the end product wasn't there. And then we also had this moment where Bates had this chance where he would control the ball with his right foot and he would smash it in, and Raya would save it, and then ultimately Gakpo would try to get to it, but unfortunately he was offside. So Ekitike's goal was sort of like ruled offside because of Gakpo, not looking at the line and stuff like that. So that is how the whole second half went. We had our opportunities, we had our corners, we just didn't really sort of like click. There was no end product to the way we were playing. It was all right and good. It was nice to see, but then kind of like it just didn't materialize at some point in time. Um, I was surprised to see Mo Salah play the full 90 minutes. I didn't really expect him. I thought he would be substituted with Chiesa, for instance, but then um, Ekitike got subbed off, and then we saw Chiesa come in. And then, yes, two injury news currently that we have is Konate limped off injured somewhere around the 60th minute, 70th minute mark. And I think it could be a muscle issue, not really a knee, because he was trying to pull his thigh muscle. So maybe there's some tightness over there, and then they didn't want to risk playing him. And Joe Gomez got subbed in, and he did well. He defended really well against Gyökeres. At that sort of like the pressure at that moment before the goal actually happened, for him to step in and put in a good performance alongside Van Dijk against a player like Gyökeres and Zubimendi and Martinelli, who also got subbed off. And then when Eberechi Eze came on, and then the game started to gain even more momentum, and there was more pressure from Arsenal itself. And then Curtis Jones got fouled somewhere around the 80th minute mark, and then Szoboszlai just hammered that in. I mean, I've seen him score that in the Euros, in the qualifiers, in friendlies, but for him to actually try that from 30 yards, he needs to have that level of confidence. The only last person who would take a free kick like that was Trent, of all those years that he played with us. But after that, I think Szoboszlai can take that mantle and say, he has a thunderous right foot. That was very good. I just jumped into joy. But then, yes, after the goal and all that, we wanted to defend the ball. We just wanted to clear our lines as much as possible. We just didn't want Arsenal to get that opportunity to score. Eze almost created a few chances here and there, and also Gyökeres as well, Declan Rice as well. But it just didn't materialize for them also. It's a good sign to see that both teams didn't get a red card or anything like that. I know there was no tempers flaring and all that. They just kept it professional, but they were hard on the game. Arsenal are a very tough team to beat. They really locked up Ekitike. They didn't give him any chance to score. They did not give him any sniff on the ball a lot of the times, especially in the first half. In the second half, we could see him trying to link up with Salah, link up with Bates, link up with Gakpo, but then it just didn't really click at all. And then when Chiesa came on, it was sort of like just still the same thing there. There was no real end product, but ultimately the end product was Szoboszlai with that free kick. So 3 points for us, and now we are heading into the international break with 3 points and also 3 wins in the Premier League. A very good momentum for us heading into the international break, and come after that, I think we'll be fine. Another thing was also Wades also sort of like was injured towards the end of the game. they had to sub him off. Most probably it could be just be cramp, because we also saw Julian Timber having some cramp, and then Saliba as well. He got subbed off in the first half. He was injured, and despite being injured, despite Saliba being injured, Arsenal was still very, very good defensively. They were very solid at the back. They just kept Salah quiet for the most parts. Gakpo, they kept him relatively quiet as well. He just had a shot, one or two shots here and there, and Ekitike was basically just floating around in and around the midfield area. Couldn't really get a sniff on goal or in the attacking position. So that is how the game basically went. In my opinion, any win, if you are able to get the victory, even if it's a 1-0, if it's a 2-1, I would accept it. I saw a lot of football pages on Facebook and Instagram. These guys trying to say that we spent so much money and then we saw words didn't have any impact in the game. But that was ideally because Arsenal are a very good side, and you tend to have games like this where it's very tough to beat. Arsenal are a very tough team to beat, and if you beat these kind of tough teams, despite it being by luck, yes, we got an opportunity by through a free kick, and Szoboszlai scored it and stuff like that. But if you're able to beat a team like this and keep that clean sheet, it speaks a lot. It helps a lot along the way, because the Premier League is not just a 1 game, 3 game season. It's a 38 game season, and it's a marathon. So we have so many games to look forward to. So this one would definitely help us in terms of momentum moving forwards. So there's a lot of work needs to be done, but defensively we were really good. I think Gravenberch did well in the midfield. Szoboszlai was very good at the right back positions. Wirtz was trying his level best, but he just couldn't get things clicking in the midfield department. Also McAllister as well. He was, slipping around, falling down here and there. Just couldn't get the ball under control, because we know the type of player McAllister is. He would like to keep control of the ball. He's very good as a box-to-box midfielder, defensively, attacking-wise. He would basically be sort of like that engine room in the midfield. So we didn't really see that from McAllister, but it's okay. It will take time. I think even he just came back from an injury and stuff like that. So it's okay. We do have this 2 weeks buffer of a international break. So let's see. Hopefully, Arne Slot can make some proper tweaks and all that, so that we can move. We can play better in the next few games. So that's it from me in terms of a match review. I think it's a really good victory for us. Let me know what you guys think in the comments as well. Do like, share, and subscribe my video. Do hit the like button as well for this video. I'll appreciate it a lot. And till the next match, till I meet you guys in the next match. So we do have some international break coming through. The deadline day of the transfers are also upon us. I think I'll give you guys a little bit of update on that as well. And hope you guys have a good night's sleep, because I'm doing this actually in the morning. Right after the game. So thank you so much for watching, and you'll never walk alone, guys. Take care and see you guys very soon.